Welcome to my exhibition. So, a few of my paintings are on show here at the moment. It's the work that I've been doing since January. So, on the left hand side, you've got two landscapes, and the facing wall are what I call my energy paintings. And then on the opposite wall, the adjacent wall, is my magenta nude. And if you're here on the opening, there might be a few other paintings on easels, but I'll talk about them later. So just to give you a bit of background about where these paintings came from or why I painted them, because sometimes I think people like to know the background, and it's nice to say, actually, to talk about them as well. So starting first with my energy paintings, I did those around January, and it was around the time when, well, what preceded them was I did a series of self-portraits. So I did 4 self-portraits, which were all based on a photograph of me taken about 20 odd years ago by a professional photographer, like an artist photographer. So he was doing a series on, I think it was mothers and daughters or relationships between people. But my mother wasn't around, but the photographer said, "Oh, can I photograph you anyway? And you can represent yourself how you want to." Anyway, I was going through a bit of a tough time at the time. So the photographs, when, they came through and I saw them, I had lots of emotion in them. So I thought it would be interesting to work from those and maybe revisit a little bit about what I went through. So not to talk about that too long, but so I painted the first, and I painted another one. I ended up painting 4 over about 2 months. And after that point, I thought, I've had enough of this. And I'd done a lot of thinking and stuff, revisiting stuff. And then as soon as I'd finished the 4th, I almost said out loud, enough, time for light. And I just wanted to paint something the total opposite. So I just wanted to paint light and a sense of energy and maybe what it is to feel like, say if you close your eyes, what do you feel like when you close your eyes? So forget your physical being, it's about what's going on inside, what are we? And that's what sort of happened, really. And it just came together as it came together. So the image, source image, was the first one I did. And then, because you have to allow drying time, I also worked on another smaller one because I was just experimenting with techniques because I didn't really know what I was doing. So I created the life one. So I worked on them both sort of at the same time. And so I think they're similar but quite different as well. I really like the life one. I think if that was standing on a wall on its own, it would radiate such a lot of warmth and life and good vibes, good energy. I think it would be great. And if it was nicely framed, it would look good too. And also the other big one, I think, in the right space. And the thing is with that, different times of the day, depending how the light hits it, it looks totally different, which was a bit of a nightmare when I was painting it, because I would look at it in one light and I would see one thing, and then if the light changed, like just a different part of the day, or I took it into a different room, it would look different. So that took a long time to paint, and I think at one point I just had to say, right, that's it, it's finished, because it could have gone on and on. The painting in the middle, similar sort of vein. I quite liked the idea of painting the circle and just what was in there, really, that sort of style. And that one I did, it's called Painting for Nepal, and that's one I did because I did that quite recently. It was the time of the Nepal earthquake, and my friend was over there. She was there for the first one and the second one that hit, so there was lots of fundraising going on. So I thought, why not paint a picture and see if I could sell it for the people of Nepal. So that's what that one was about. So I created that with Nepal in mind. So really that one's about hope and peace, and I suppose I was just thinking about that, and they're the colours, and that's the design that came up. So that's that one. And what I like to do is mix up a little bit, because if you do too many, I don't know, when I was doing the energy ones, and you're looking at all these dots, and it can be quite, it does your head in slightly, because you see all these dots and you need to change what you're looking at. So then I sort of switched to doing landscapes. So I painted the sunset one. I think you see, well, the blue sunset one, which is called Sunset over Salgadosh, is a scene from Holiday. So it's a picture I took in Portugal. And it was one of those moments, we probably all have them, you know, when you just see something and you think, wow, that's just so beautiful. And you can just look at it and look at it. And obviously those moments go. But I just remember thinking, how beautiful. So I captured something on my silly mobile phone camera, and then I just try to recreate something of that. And the painting that you see that's on the wall is, I think, is the third version, because often I'll paint it and I think, have I got the right? Because there's lots of ways you can interpret a picture, an image. So I wanted to paint it again, and so I did it in 2 different ways. And the first one didn't actually work. It worked, but it wasn't good enough, so I didn't really keep that one. So that was the second one, and it took a while, and I just really liked the subtlety and the idea of the big open sky, because I think sometimes you can just look at the sky and get lost. So in this painting, it's just about, hopefully you get that feeling that you can look at it and get lost, really, in a nice way. And yeah, and it was trying to capture the sea was quite a challenge. So it was the third time I'd looked at trying to paint the sea. And I don't know if you can see the perspective in the sea. So it goes to a single point on the right hand side. You can sort of see as it goes in. So that was capturing a moment in time. And the other, sunset over there, yeah, Pembroke skies over Pembroke. I wanted to paint something else, and that photograph I took, a friend of mine took that actually, called Vicky Heskin, and she posted it on social media, and I thought, wow, I can only paint from pictures that move me, and I thought, wow, that's amazing. It was almost like a dragon or some big bird, firebird in the sky, and I thought, wow, that would be amazing, and how hard would it be to paint that light, that yellow light coming through the clouds? So I asked her if I could paint it, and she said yes. So that was my painting of sunset, which was really beautiful to do and really exciting to do. And there's some detail in there that I really look, so if you really look into the sky, you can see subtleties, and there's different colours, and they sort of fade really cleverly. That wasn't me, that was the sky, that was nature, so it was hard to get it. But so, I don't know, I really like the sky bits in that picture. And again, it's just about being able to get lost in a big sky. That's what I like about landscapes, is that openness that you get. So that's that one. So similarities in a way. I just hope that you can sit there and go, wow, and just have a bit of peace and get, I don't know, something from seeing the images. And then the last one is a nude. I've done a few nudes in the past before, so that one was just nice to do something figurative with a bit more subject, and it's nice just to switch from different things. So that was a nude that I did, and that one, that was interesting, because when you're doing a nude now, you think about, you know, objectification of the female form, etc., especially as the female painter as well. So it did occur to me, but I sort of relied on my intuition, and also it's my photograph. I posed the model, so it was, you know, so. And when you paint, you just have to paint what feels right to paint. So I think that one's all about gentleness, femininity, self-love. It's not really about the viewer, I think it's about the person just being happy in themselves and just being gentle with themselves. So that's that one. Anyway, so that's a little talk through about my exhibition, and I hope you enjoy it. And yeah, I have a website, so hopefully if you want to keep in touch, just have a look on there. But thanks a lot for coming to see it.